Lay us up.
What's up, you bunch of fucking delinquents? Welcome to Copper Whiff with Wooch Griff, the full podcast, as helped by Camu and Schwid, aka Vanilla Slice.
Ooh.
And then to his left, we've got producer Doodleson, aka Apple Strudelson,
AKA the Pocket Rocket.
aka a lot of things.
Apparently, yeah.
Yeah. Today, we're going to be talking about beer because we like it.
We like this one in particular.
This is our favorite.
Yeah. We're talking about Carlton Draft, and what we're thinking about is making a new segment, the Slabtab, and we will rate a different beer each week.
Patent pending.
Patent pending. Yes, sir. So, to begin, we're going to start with our A+. You know what I'm saying? Like, Carlton Draft is part of our lives at this point. Been drinking it since before
Flex the bicep, dude. Show them
it's
what
on
you're about.
the old forearm. Had to get it on the skin, on the forearm. You know what I'm saying? Right there.
Oh, we'll zoom in on that.
We'll try
Carlton
and zoom in.
Draft is a beer that can
If
be...
you got beer on your skin, it's for life.
Now, Griff, why that particular spot?
I like to crack my beers on this particular spot. We'll maybe go into a little later in the podcast, but the boys talked me into it. You know what I'm saying? And then we said we might have to go on the other side so I don't forget to read the trivia each time, which I tend to do. It's just not natural to me to crack the beer and read the trivia. I always just crack the tab and just poof, flick it.
That's a little special thing about Carlton Draft is not
pick and
other
flick it.
beers have something inside the lid that you're meant to look at before you toss it at a friend.
What is it
Makes
about
me
Carlton
learn.
Draft that makes it Carlton Draft? You know what I mean? What is it that we like so much about it?
It's fun because it's educational. I learn things from the trivia.
Yeah.
And
Thank
speaking
you.
of,
I'm
And I
not-
learn things about
your boy
myself.
Schwitty here has just cracked one. We got a fresh trivia.
Yes, sir.
First trip of the podcast, dude.
Here we go, boys.
What's happening? What is measured in lumens?
Lumens.
It's light.
Yes, correct.
What's the
There
measurement?
you go.
of
Thanks
like
for not
the-
even giving us a chance in that as well, by the
Because
way.
we had that one the other.
Offended, by the
We
way.
had that just the other day because we drink way too much Carlton Draft. That's
There you go. Yeah, they
Yeah.
do double up. But I
Yeah.
will say the best thing about this beer is it is just the best thing for all occasions. Like it's probably, if you go onto the beach, that's a different set of beer. You might get yourself a Miller Chill, Corona,
Summer.
or...
Yep.
Is it a
summer?
now?
Like,
Can we
I don't
talk
know.
about the ins and outs of why it's not a beach beer? Because I think the problem with taking it to the beach is
Draft
the second
lager.
it gets a little warm, the taste it's rough, right? It
Real
It's a
rough.
draft.
tastes
It's a
like you're
draft.
licking like a coin or something like that. It gets like that weird, like metally.
I'm not going to go
Gross
as far as
taste.
to say it tastes like a battery when it's warm, but like it's
yeah,
it's
pretty-
very
not too
fucking
far off.
bland.
Like a bitter in the fucking sun. Dude.
Makes you more thirsty if I'm going to
make
be
it
honest.
wild.
But what it is, especially Carlton Draft off the tap, there is probably no better liquid that could be produced on this planet. I'm not sure.
Like liquid gold would be pretty good.
Liquid
right?
gold's
But
about as
Carlton
close as it
Draft
gets.
Is, yeah. I mean, you're getting close to
So,
Carlton Draft with that.
On
but-
our Beerometer, we are thinking of doing it so you'll have a rating out of 24, which is a slab, and we rate Carlton Draft 24 out of 24. So each week we will
No,
try
all right,
and
here's the thing. First adversity for the beer. I don't give it 24 out of 24.
I give it 24.
I
I
give-
would drink 24
it's-
if it was
you
possible.
give it 24.
Yeah.
out of
It's
24.
somewhere
It's my
between-
favorite beer. I would rather there's no beer I'd rather drink than Carlton
least
Draft.
pass
Yeah,
around
but here's the
the
thing.
room.
We just said
Speaking
that it's
for the
not
cast.
appropriate for the beach. The beach is reserved for other beers like Corona or I'm going to say, yeah, Miller Chill. The lime or the blood orange one's good. But it's just like, this is not a beach beer, then it can't have a perfect rating.
Look, Griff,
No
you're
beer
a,
has a perfect
I'll
you're
rating.
take
a
it to
bitter
the-
guy. You're a bitter guy, right? I'm a dry guy. You know what I mean? Like, we're all different, but I'm
Yeah.
more of a Carlton Draft.
I do
Carlton
like the
Dry
bitter.
does go with the beer.
That is what it is. I mean, like at the same time though, Crown Lager is too bitter for some reason for me. Like
I
it's
had
a
a
bitter
Crownie
beer,
on the
but
weekend.
it's
I like
too
Crownie.
bitter.
Crownie's
It's
good.
weird.
Carlton Draft has
We'll
the
get to
perfect
it.
amount of bitter. It has the perfect amount of
doubt.
aftertaste, the
No
tang.
doubt.
We'll get to it, but it's a weird enigma, Crown. Something about that just doesn't do
It's
it for
like
me.
it's almost like I hadn't had it in a while, and I tried it on the weekend when we were at Geelong.
It's
I was like-
drinkable.
It's drinkable, but it's like it's almost not bitter. It's meant to be a lager, but it's not bitter. It's very strange.
Tastes like a draft to me, to be honest, but like just
Yeah.
in the worst way.
Yeah.
All right, well, we're getting off topic. All right,
hey, I
can we
love
go-
Carlton Draft, but it's not
What
a
do you
20.
rate it? 20 what? 22?
I think it's like a 22.5, or if I'm going to be a dick about it.
That's how
Can't
many.
have half a
So
beer,
wait, 22.5,
Is
and
there
you're
any-
going, nah.
is there
I'm
It's
any-
gonna
not a
throw up.
23, it's a 22.5, but there's no other beer I see. Like, this could, like, if you had this out the tap in, like, I don't know,
Yeah.
on an amazing day, it might bump it up to a 23 or 23.5. But just because it can't be drank at the beach, and I'm sure there's like another thing about it that like bumps it down a little bit.
Can I also add another like thing that
You may.
resonates with it? Is just it sits in your stomach, dude.
I like that though.
If you have at least,
You got to have the stomach for
if you
it.
have
That's
about-
called
if you have
being a
about-
bitch, though.
I've got a few of them sitting in my
Yeah.
stomach right now.
Pan
I'm
and
telling
or
you, I'm
Z.
sitting pretty.
Yeah.
If you have about 10
Yeah.
or so, like you feel your gut, like it's heavy.
The only time you've had 10 beers, though, is when you're in the spa, right? Griff spa, you have it and it's, you know what I mean? You're getting dehydrated, you're getting sweaty, and you got 10 beers sloshing around in your fucking mids.
A good
Dude,
experience.
Schwid's favorite beer is double blacks, dude.
Oops.
Talk about it,
What was
Oh.
it? No, it's cranberry.
But like, so you're saying about 22 of these, and you're starting to be like Schwid out over like the balcony throwing up, getting that massive patch that we all remember. That's where you're at 22, or it's just that you wouldn't like the taste.
Where was your legendary chunder? That was the one in Europe, right? That's right.
That's Guinness. That's another night.
What? Dude, we're talking
Yeah.
about this guy who's chundered after trying to do a
I
six-pack
have.
of Foster's?
No,
I
And
don't
this-
know,
what
dude,
legendary chunder is
context,
this?
guys. That
That
was
one is-
Guinness. Guinness got me.
Rip, dude.
No, but
That rips.
That's context of that, people. Okay,
Have you vomited from beer
I-
consumption? I don't think it is possible, right? You've been pretty good.
Oh, I've seen him vomit before.
There's
What
one,
was it, beer though?
There is one time.
Absinthe, but
There
yeah.
was no, but no.
yeah,
There was
but yeah, but
no, but.
There was
You're
one
but no,
time
but-
I tried to play Centurion, which was, I don't know if you guys have ever played it, but it's a game when you have to drink a shot of beer every minute until the slab is gone. But the thing is, after a certain amount of time, I think it's like 10, 15 minutes.
Hang on, son. You got to do 24 beers in 24 minutes?
No. You misunderstand.
a shot. So 30
a shot. Like, it's just literally a
30 mil.
shot of beer. But the thing is, like, you may think that that's like not a whole lot, right? I'm telling you,
No,
the
it's a
taste of
lot.
beer gets old after an hour. And like, not only that, but like I think it's half hour, a new rule gets introduced. So say if you point, that's an extra shot.
Yeah, I love that.
If you swear, extra shot.
Classic right hand, left hand.
And like, when you're an hour and a half into this game and you fuck up on a rule like that, you're not having a good time. You're gonna have a bad time. And there was
Missed out
one
on this
time I
game,
played
dude.
this game.
What's happening
The
to me?
wizard stuff or something like that.
Yeah, the wizard stuffs. But
Yeah,
you can
I've
do that
never
with
played that
anything.
either.
Fuck, I'm getting absolute fucking
All right.
moose and
So
a knuckle
final
on this thing.
verdict.
Ooh.
Schwib, was yours 10?
You give that shit a sniff,
We were
or
gonna go around the Carlton.
I'm
We
giving
won't do
it a
every
whole
week.
slab.
He's
It's-
going whole.
It is
You're
my favorite
going-
beer. We started on something that's
yeah, but this guy doesn't go to the
Unobtainable.
beach.
for me.
Pretty good. Woochy Wooch, what were you going in the end?
I don't need to drink it at
Look,
the beach.
I love this beer. It's my favorite beer. I'll give it a 23 out of 24.
What we got over here?
Can
Schwib?
anything make a 24, or does it have to be a different drink
It'd
entirely?
have to be a special expect. Like, I'd have to
You know
bust
me.
both my nuts
Do you reckon-
drinking whatever I'm
Was it
drinking
Dr.
at this
Peps
moment.
and
Nah, you want to talk about
and
Dr.
the-
Peps?
yeah.
Lay
us up.
It's a different thing though. I mean, it's not.
Well, no, what
alcoholic,
was the one you had? Remember the
I remember.
Jaeger? Wasn't
I know
it
what you-
Jaeger and milk?
Yeah, all right.
Jaeger
So
and
I bought Jägermeister.
Listen to this,
I
dude.
bought. All right.
Your boy gets a call from the Wooch a couple years back. He's like, "Hey man, on your way over, would you mind picking up some Dr. Pepper?" And I was like, "You know what? I will."
I told you I was having Jaeger. I needed.
I don't remember that.
This guy shows up with 2 cans of Dr.
Okay,
Pepper.
that was the only two cans in the store.
Dr. Pepper.
Is not
The
available
American
on
cans
shelves.
are not as big. They're not a 375
They're
traditional.
tiny. Yeah.
The tradish for America is like, what, 285. Let's say that. This guy shows up with 2 cans. I'm like, the fuck am I meant to do with this? This will last me like 2 minutes.
Go and get your own ones then,
I had
right? But it's
no-
like,
I
got
had-
the only two that were on the
No,
shelf.
but I had no mixes. So
Respect.
that brings
Also,
me to this
right?
story is because
Came through for you. Cost me like $5.
yeah, I know the reason
can.
the reason he
He's
brings
still
this up
hemorrhaging from that, dude.
the reason you bring this up is because after the 2 cans, which your boy Wooch goes quick,
They
I
went
didn't
down
have-
quick.
I didn't have anything. All I had in my house was milk and orange juice. And you bet I finished the milk and
With
orange
Jaeger,
juice
dude?
with the Jaeger. You know what? The milk in the Jaeger
went
wasn't
one
bad. It
after
was
the
like
other
spiced
two.
milk. I
I
really enjoyed
do
that.
remember you saying
That
this,
is
dude.
literally
All right,
rancid.
we're getting off top. We got to finish.
I'd
up
rather do
for the week.
a shoey
Yeah,
of
I
fucking
admit.
just spit.
I admit,
Oh, nah.
having
that.
Jaeger and milk on its own is yuck. But when you have it with Jaeger and milk, and then you have Jaeger and orange juice and Jaeger and
Ho-
Dr. Pepper,
Hold on. If we're gonna
I'd
start
rather have
off,
someone piss in my mouth.
if
I was
we-
pretty staunch that
if
day,
we're
not
gonna
gonna
start
lie.
off with a story about mixing different drinks like the King's Cups, we're talking about Schwid at Justin's that time. How he ended up
Yes.
throwing
We
up
have
over
a
the
friend.
balcony.
His name is Justin, and what he likes to do when friends come over is get them blasted.
Yeah,
and Schwid was the next victim this night.
Oh.
I don't
No,
want to
he
talk
did it
about
to
it.
Summer's
himself,
Evening.
dude. He did it to himself.
2016, I think, roughly.
It was a good year.
Okay.
It was a good
He
year.
did
It was
it
a
to
good year,
himself.
That was a good year for everything.
Wii Sports, you ever heard of it? You ever played it?
Now,
Yeah.
Wii Sports is a
We
little
did.
old at this
I
point,
remember
but
that.
we did play it.
Mm.
So line us up. I think it was golf. We played
It was
the old
Wii golf.
9-hole 18. Was it 9-hole Wii golf?
Yeah, so Schwid is horrendously losing, right? And Justin says to him, "Oh, hey, how about we do like a King's Cup?" And every time,
No, it's a Stein.
we start a Stein. We were already throwing different stuff into this Stein, right? And he said, "How about I bet you that if you end up losing," which he was already like, I'm talking like 6 or 7 behind.
he's like, no, he's
right?
plus at least 7, plus 7.
right? Like
which
way
is dog
behind what
shit.
Justin was. He's like,
I was
Not
also
when your boy
plus
was-
7 beers into that night.
yeah, he was,
so
he was
I
plus 3
not-
so
beers.
it's
Yeah,
probably
so he had
about
3
plus-
beers. Yeah.
like
if,
one and a
if we're
half
gonna
beers.
talk about if we're going to talk about your alcohol consumption
The
in
lowest out of all
golf
of us.
terms, you had a triple budgie. Dude.
You had a little birdie.
Yeah, dude.
So-
you were not doing good.
And of course, what does Schwid say to that? He's like, "Psh, yeah, let's fucking go. I'll fucking have you."
Who doesn't like an underdog story?
We're
Didn't really
talking
work out.
for anyone who wants to get an idea of this Stein that Justin fills. It's about this big. It's a glass this big,
It's
and
a
we filled.
Stein. Most Steins are, you
I
know.
don't
But
know
huge,
how much
yeah.
of the world knows about Steins, right? What was the first thing that went into it? It was like a Bundaberg, and then we put a beer,
He
and then we put
Canadian
Pre-workout
club.
in there, dude.
pre-workout, and then a
Pre-workout
Canadian
went in
club,
there.
and then it was like a bunch of different straights. I'm pretty sure.
There was beer in there as well. Yeah, quite a lot of beer in there as well. I don't look.
No,
So
it
I'm
was
just gonna
mainly
throw
beer.
this out there. Like
It was
I
rancid.
love beers. We all love beers.
Oh, no,
But when
here
we're
we
doing
go.
King's Cup, I don't want beer in my King's Cup. I really don't.
Not this King's
I'm
Cup.
happy with the fucking whiskey. I'm happy with the vodka. I'm happy if you chuck in some of that German plutonium fucking pre-workout that we had.
Yes,
But dude, beer just wrecks the King's Cup.
yeah, it's like you're
Russian
putting dirt
clears.
into it or something like that. For some reason, it just does not mix with
Well,
everything
beer
else.
doesn't. Yeah, it's an unmeshable
mixer.
thing. Yeah,
Unless-
right.
yeah.
Oil and water with some vinegar in there. You know what I mean? Like it just doesn't
Yeah.
work. So anyway, so Schwed did actually down.
Took-
I'll give it
took
to you,
the
man.
bet.
He
No, he
downed the
took-
Stein, dude.
Takes the bet.
Yeah.
He lost.
Wait, what was the bet again?
bad?
So he, literally, he's
Whoever-
losing. He's down
just-
like 6 or 7 in golf.
Whoever has
Wii
the
golf,
lowest score on Wii golf
ends up
drinks
drinking
the
the Stein.
Stein.
I've
And
got a photo. I'll happily
Schwed
whip
was
it out
on-
of me playing Justin and Wii Golf, and I finished 4 under par for the 18 holes.
Yeah,
I've got it on.
Oh, rookie
You can
numbers,
only
dude.
do- Yeah.
What do you?
Oh, you play
4
rookie
under
numbers.
par and Wii Golf.
Dude, have
Yeah.
you ever played with us, dude?
Yeah.
I played.
Your boy.
Connoisseurs,
I'm gonna
dude.
say that
Dude,
your boy
I
here
don't,
holds
I
the
don't
record,
think
right?
so, dude.
You hold the record for tennis. I hold the record for golf.
Yeah, that's actually
I
pretty
think.
good.
Yeah,
I
you
think
do
I'm.
pretty
I think I
well.
was like -6.
The thing
or
with that
something like
game is you fuck up once and that's it. That's the game.
I've
you
had
end
some
up
pretty good-
like, you know what I mean? Like you hit like out of bounds once and that's it. You're like 5 behind.
No, don't deflect, dude. If we play Wii Golf, if we play Wii Golf, I'm giving you the hot Cosby. I'm gonna fuck
dude.
you up.
I'm gonna pepper your steak if we
Yeah,
play.
dude,
son.
your Angus will be well and truly
Yeah.
peppered.
That one of the
I'm gonna
nights we're
beef your
playing.
jerky on that one. All right.
One of the nights we're playing Wii Golf, I got so frustrated that I kept on missing, right? And I got
Oh.
I got the driver out. I was on the edge of green, so it lets you get a driver out.
I feel like I'm there right now.
I aimed, yeah, right? That fluoro green. It's like you're going from like a dark green to a mid green to a
Yeah.
fucking
This was
fluoro
one of the
green,
most
right?
impossible shots, though, right? To line you up, as you said, on the edge of green means
Yeah.
that, like, if you touch the green, you cannot use anything other than just the putt.
Yeah.
And you were able to draw out the
driver.
driver on the edge of green,
Just
and
out
he
of
was like,
pure
"Fuck this!
frustration.
I'm losing."
I was pissed. Dude. I was like, fuck this.
Lines this shot up perfectly with the what is it called? You want to call it
The pole,
the
yeah,
pole
yeah,
that
whatever.
goes into the
Measuring
hole,
pole, whatever.
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And
You
just
smack the shunt out of it.
fucking belts
Dude, it hit
this
the-
ball.
It hit the pole and it went down into the.
I don't know if this is
down.
some sort of like unknown glitch, but he belts the ball.
Does it hit
hits
the pole, and then just
drops it.
Oh, I've seen that happen
Impossible.
before.
Oh,
Yeah.
right into the wall.
Dude,
Right into the wall.
Impossible
dude.
shot.
Oh my god, dude.
Yeah.
I'm so glad to see
we
that
actually
happen because
finished.
that
we
is
all
be-
went off when that
Dude,
happened.
that
We
is
stopped
better.
playing. We
I'm
stopped
not gonna
playing the
lie,
game.
that is
Alright.
better than seeing a hole in one.
I'm just
not-
gonna throw this out there right now. We like our golf. Is there anything better than hitting a long distance shot in golf in any sport? Like what?
We're talking about Wii
Is-
golf, but yeah.
Not even Wii golf. I'll give it to Wii
We
golf
can't
as
even
well.
play real golf.
No, but like Wii golf or golf, hitting like a long distance shot that goes in. Is there anything more magnificent in all sports?
Oh,
If
I mean,
the out of the park on the baseball is pretty.
That's
it's
a home-
out of the park.
Yeah, out of the park is like
Pretty
a level
sick.
above home run.
Yeah,
I'll
that's
give
pretty
that.
Are we
Sounds
not
fun.
talking? Are we talking the real world? Are we?
Anything,
Have
any
you guys,
sport.
have you guys ever
anything.
hit a bouncy ball for the tennis racket?
Oh,
'Cause that goes hard.
Goes
Yeah,
That
hard.
goes
that-
hard.
yeah.
Or like a
Actually-
little lemon. Like
No,
we
but
Justin and I
lemons,
used to hit
lemons.
like small lemons
Yeah.
with the tennis rackets, and it was the shit.
Dude, we were at a party once, and he went to me, "Do you want to go to Macca's?" I was like, "Oh, okay, sure." We went to like this open field halfway there, and he's like, he just grabs this fucking tennis racket out of the back of his car, and grabs some lemons out as well, and says, "Let's just whack these for a while."
Dude, I can top
What?
that. I got some loose cousins. My cousins are
Yes.
as loose gets. Like I could tell some stories. In fact, I might soon. But they used to make what was called spud cannons out of PVC piping, and it was like a plumber's pipe, like your traditional.
I've always wanted to fucking have
And they would
those.
get a stove lighter, and they would tape it in the bottom, and they would just spray a shitload of deodorant or like whatever else in the where the lighter ignites, and they would put like a spud in the pipe, and then they would close the bottom lid, and they would ignite, and the thing would just fucking
spud
send.
gun.
Yeah,
You like a homemade spud
No,
gun?
Yeah, but a spud gun
hasn't
is
got dick
taking
on
little
this, though.
chunks
This
of
is
like a potato and using a spring.
That's the
This-
original spud gun.
That's a spud gun. What he's talking about
We're
is like
talking
a
like a
fucking
PVC pipe
grenade
that's
launcher.
like that in diameter.
Shooting a whole potato.
Yeah.
Oh shit!
and
it was
shooting a whole potato.
I've
so
heard that.
Gettysburg, pretty much.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like,
the noob tube.
Yeah.
Had those at Glen Rowan.
You started.
Shit might have
So-
happened different.
Back to what we were saying. I would give it out of 10.
Oh, right. So the
What do I need? Relationship
the slab
advice?
tab,
or-
right?
The slap tap though, right, guys?
where were you when you had your first beer? Do you remember?
So
Hey, that's a good.
I had a
do.
shandy. I had a
I
shandy.
actually do.
Yeah.
I know where I was.
I had a
too.
Cascade Light shandy.
Nice.
Oh.
No,
I had
that's,
a-
that's
Cascade
fair
Light
enough.
wasn't
I had a
that
That's fair
good,
enough. And
no.
what did you say? Sorry for the slab tab.
The slab tab, sorry, not beer meter.
Let's go around. Let's go around real quick. I
we've
gave it
done
a
it.
23 out of 24. You gave it.
I give it a perfect
24.
score. It's the best beer.
Okay, we try wrapping this
I'm a
up.
filthy
All right.
delinquent,
Trying to.
And
and it's a
I
24.
would probably go. It's probably a 20 for me. It's a 20. It's
Well,
as I
what's
said.
your? I want to guess your 24 is Han Super Draft up.
I don't think I have. I don't know if I mean, I know you should probably have a 24. I just don't think I do.
Chewy's
Carlton
extra.
Dry is your favorite beer,
Chewy's,
though, yeah?
Han Super Dry, the older ones.
The
They're
old
not
Han
the same
Super
anymore,
Dry,
man.
the OG, the crisp. There was
now-
nothing ever more crisp.
You know how some beers, as you mentioned before, the metallic taste tastes a bit like a coin, right? Every beer has that slight taste. You don't really taste it. Now Han Super Dry is like gone from like a 6% you can hardly tell to like 30%. So. This
Dude.
guy, dude.
Actual coins, right?
So I'm probably gonna go 20. Schwid, over to you because we're gonna segment over that.
I would have said 20 actually, but like
Oh, okay. Well, you can be a sheep, dude.
we don't even know what your favorite drink is yet. I don't think.
You know 20. I'll fuck
Never
you
will.
up.
bartender Schwed.
Well-
My favorite drink's always changing.
I'm in a room full of bartenders too. I
But
feel
we're
like
not talking about other
Mm.
drinks. If we want to talk about
We
spirits,
gotta
and everything,
keep
that's a
this
different.
just to.
If we can talk about
it's gonna be
beers.
beer and only beer.
It's a big
now.
one. It's a big one to
No
review.
ales, by the way.
Oh,
Ale is beer.
It's
Oops,
beer.
right? Because we're talking
How about a
beer.
bit of mead in there, maybe eventually?
Mead. I've always wanted to try mead.
Something like that.
Mead, and I want to try moonshine.
This
Those
is
are
not
two
Skyrim.
alcohols that I want to get
Beers.
around.
What do you
Well, I
give
would
this
just
Carlton
say-
Draft, Schwid?
I gave it a 20. I'll give it 20 out of
Yeah,
10.
I'm happy with that. If it was the 19th,
Alright,
I'd piss
now,
in your mouth.
where were you
Honestly,
when
I
you
swear
had
to
your
God.
first beer?
Yeah, VB by the
Madness.
fire at Upper Beak after I took a shit on an anthill nest. I swear. to God.
Throwback to last week's episode.
Unreal.
Dad
dude.
gave me VB. He liked VBs,
Now,
and I
were
liked
these
VBs.
all-
tough one to start on?
Were these all solid poos, or did you actually like
Oh, we
liquefy
were-
some of these fucking anthills? dude?
No, I was well fed as a kid. I had a lot of carbohydrates,
Yeah, a lot of-
as you can tell.
You know, a lot of fiber.
They were.
Hell.
I usually took maybe one solid one and then two small
Little,
solid
like,
ones
nugs
behind
after.
that.
Yeah, fair enough. Got to
Lots
Make
of
it
rice
divisive.
as a kid.
true.
Feeling bad
My-
for those ants, man.
Do you remember
Looking
how
like
old
the
you were?
fucking...
When I had my first beer, I don't know. I don't want to say because it's probably definitely under 18, but I reckon I might have been like 10 or something. It was never like I had a full like a VB and I shotgunned it. Like Dad gave me another one. Like it was just like the last bit of the can or something.
Your first beer, do you remember?
Would have been when I was about like 10 or 11. I was at Dad's mates. Like obviously he was having beers with his mate, and it's that classic. Oi, come here.
Yeah. I'm surprised he didn't
Have
give
a-
you
have
like
a sip
a
of this.
spliff off a dart as well, to be honest.
Oh, fuck that. No.
Hey,
no.
come try one of these.
Chimney, dude.
No, he's like, all right, have a sip of this, and the reason that I do not like VB to this day is because it was a
This
VB.
is the first sip of.
it's
And
a rough
sip
one
of
to start with,
alcohol,
man. It's a
and
rough
Yeah,
one to
I
start
as a
mean-
kid, you are just given sugar on tap. Like so, like when you get given this, beer, you're like, what in the fresh fuck is this? So I'm like, well, I'm never going to drink this ever again. And then leading
then
into my, 16, 17, 18.
But then it gets mixed with
drinking.
lemonade.
Yeah.
And
The shan.
actually, I will bring something up. I have been frowned upon and shunned by a couple of my friends because I have made a shandy out of something other than beer, and that is red wine. I've had a red wine shandy.
Though, right? That's a fucking shambles.
shandy.
that
I'm
is
pretty sure that's written in the
absolute
Bible
shame. Is
as
what that
being
is.
like blasphemy or something
Yeah.
like that,
Yeah.
right?
Maybe in
Yeah,
Old
so-
Testament, but the New Testament says, "Thou shalt mix wine with lemonade. Thou shalt have a good time."
Newest
In
of-
no
it mixes
testament
newest of
do they ever
testaments.
say that wine and lemonade should ever go
It
together.
have you had it?
Jesus,
Yes, I did
Jesus
try it.
didn't turn water into wine, so you can
Yeah.
mix it with
So
lemonade.
you can
dude.
fucking pollute it with lemonade, dude. That's Judas on that bitch right there. Yeah, have some lemonade.
Sure,
Nah.
that's a good one. I like
Let me
that.
ask you something.
I like that
Let me
a lot.
ask you something. The fuckles, the chuckles about. And 2, do you like Portello?
No,
Love Portello.
no, it's
Yeah.
I don't know.
Favorite soft drink.
That's what it
Hands
is.
down.
What is that?
Nah, it's
It's
not hands down.
Portello. It's fucking
All right, dude. First beer?
grapey kind of lemonade.
First beer, man. I used to have like every Christmas for me is just this flash of Pavlova, which I was never a big fan
Yes,
of.
dude.
Right?
Fuck
I like it,
Pavlova.
but I'm not a big fan. Right?
The worst texture ever. It's like eating
It
a
is the worst,
sponge.
right? It's a sponge. Yeah, you're literally eating SpongeBob, dude.
Yeah.
Right? Anyway, so that,
Well,
and
you're
then
wrong,
it would be a shandy with Christmas dinner. I can't remember which one it was, but like that was every year. I remember that taste of a shandy and fucking Pavlova. That's Christmas for me.
How old were you?
Oh,
First one.
8 or 9. I don't know.
I'm just saying the wine shandy thing.
No. Let's.
Trying to make
No,
it
you're
happen,
not
dude.
Stop
saying
trying
I'm
to make
just
wine
saying-
shandy happen,
Yeah.
dude.
I'm
It's
just
not gonna
saying.
happen.
I have Croatian relatives. I'm half
Ah.
Croatian, and it is a European thing, and they dig it. You know who else? You know what else? Some big
I don't.
European countries are known for
Mm.
beer. They fucking love their beers over there.
Yeah, it's
I've,
not the same
I've
thing,
heard
right?
that.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
ever heard of Germany?
Well,
Yeah.
look,
Been
look.
They
there.
like it
Have
as
you
well.
been there?
I
Sangria.
have not.
Your boy's been there.
Has he?
And it's the best beer I've
Actually, you're
ever
the
had.
only
Yeah, I
one
would
here who
imagine.
hasn't
Period.
been
The
to
best
Germany.
beer I've ever had.
True.
Um,
Sangria is very similar.
Sangria was amazing.
Ish, though,
Sangria
right?
is
I know it's got a lot
amazing.
more in there, but Sangria does have. Is it soda water or is it lemonade?
It can
It's one
be
of the
either
two.
or.
It was
Yeah.
just fruity.
And that
wine.
has got wine in it, so you got some more fruit and stuff in there.
Oh,
but-
real quick. So we're talking about fucking wine shandies, right? When I first, when I did it,
No.
I had-
Apparently,
When did we get onto this?
I had
we're
it.
not.
I had-
we're
All
not
right,
talking about
while
it.
we're on the topic, I guess. So a couple weeks ago when I had it, it was because so my girlfriend comes over, right? And I was like, all right, I'm going to buy some nice red wine. So I bought some Spanish red Pinot Noir. It was from 2013, right? So it was like 7-8 years old. Really nice stuff. Best Dan Murphy's, not the best, but like, it's top shelf Dan Murphy stuff. And I buy it and I have that date with the missus and she liked it or whatever and had a little bit left over. And I have a mate of mine, you know who you are, dude. He loves his red wine, right? So I send him a Snapchat of me like pouring the red wine, going like, "Oh, look at this Spanish Pinot Noir, like the colors, everything. It's like, smells good, everything." I was really like trying to
Did you swirl it in the glass a lot?
the whole deal. I was trying to tittle him, like make him seem like I'm finally coming around on red wine. And then I'm like, "Oh, dude, like it's just missing something, And then I just pull like a 2-liter of flat lemonade that I'd had under my bed for ages. And I'm like, oh yeah, that really does the trick. Now it's complete. He sends me a snap back. Like I've still got the snap of him just,
You destroyed him, man.
yeah, he was, yeah,
absolutely
dude, I sent him to the
destroyed him.
shadow realm with that
Oh.
fucking Snapchat.
That is disgusting. Right?
Dude, you could actually just make like a TikTok or like
We
just a
need to
famous
go over,
Facebook
like-
video in that.
Other than, hang on, I'll say my first fucking beer, which is depressing. But awful mixtures that you fuck with, right? Like things that you will mix together. Like for me personally, jam. I'll have like a toasty,
Oh,
like a
dude, this
toast
again?
with jam and melted cheese.
Dude.
Now, roast me in the comments, right? It sounds
It's not the
disgusting,
worst.
but
Oh,
you get your toast, put some jam on it, talking whatever you want. I fuck with plum jam personally. I like the old plum jam.
Plum jam.
And then
I
I
like the
get
cherry
the
jam.
New Zealand mainland cheese,
Yeah, I
and then
like
chuck it
that.
under the grill. Wuss.
I've
my
had
favorite snack.
Jam and cheese.
It's the best.
This
Shown me these. And
The cheese jammers,
they
dude.
have low-key
They
changed my
they
life.
are the best.
they're good. This is like the worst combination I've ever fucking come
Worse than
across, right?
Jägermeister and orange juice, dude.
Dude,
Worse than
no,
that, right?
Milk.
So
Jaeger
like,
and milk.
Both.
Go fuck
This
yourself.
is what my-
that is disgusting.
sorry, Dad. This is what my dad used to eat, right? And I know everyone's gonna be like outraged. He used to have Vegemite on toast. Fucking disgusting, dude.
Wait,
I've
what?
never heard like such a worse combination in my
Now,
life.
for everyone else here
What
who's
the fuck? What do you mean,
for
dude?
everyone else
Vegemite
here
toast
who's Australian,
owns.
for everyone
can
else here
hate
who
me,
is
I hate
Australian,
it.
right?
Dude, I love
Do
Vegemite
you-
toast and butter goes
Yeah.
hard in the paint, dude.
Do you-
What do you mean?
Are you like a
so
smear of Vegemite, or do you go the fucking like
No,
centimeter thick?
I'd like the smear of it.
I go hard on the Vegemite.
Yeah, I don't know.
I'd like
I
literally
like the butter as well, though. Like it overpowers the butter. No doubt.
Tar my whole piece of toast.
Tardy.
You cannot see any white bread. It's all veg and all mite.
Looking like a hot road in the
Yeah.
outback, dude.
Yep.
No,
I also now I've got
dude,
something even
what
worse.
do you-
I've got something even
what-
worse.
Wait.
First beer's
I
still coming up, by the way.
like to. It's one of the snacks that Mum makes me. You know, because I'm her favorite child.
She cooks him all of his dinner
Yeah,
still,
all
even though he
my
doesn't
all
live
my
there.
dinner,
Yeah.
my breakfast. She makes me lunch at work. It's fine, right? My mum loves me. So, Vegemite, butter and Vegemite on Wheat Bix.
Yes, dude. You
Oh.
cut the wheat bix in
Yeah,
half.
in half.
Dude.
yeah.
fuck
Butter and
yes.
Vegemite. That is the
Goes
best
hard
snack.
in the
You
paint,
need to
dude.
fucking scared.
Fucking
You know what it is?
lunatics, dude.
I used
Yes,
to
sir.
do jam and butter on Wheat Bix, dude.
Just about as much as
Yeah.
you know. That's what I'm saying.
So I'm in a
That's an Aussie
fascist.
snack
I'm
right
in a
there.
fascist studio right now, right? That's what's happening. Yeah, cool.
No, you're just
Yeah.
not Australian.
Yeah, I love
very
yeah,
un-Australian
love,
of you, right?
love communism, eh?
Yeah,
That's cool.
Dude, so I'm just
Straight
going to
up
say this right
capitalism
now
in
with the Vegemite comment and the fascist comment. Dude, you need to tighten up.
Yeah,
Yeah.
do I?
You
Is that warning one?
need
You,
to.
you got one strike out of two.
Yeah.
All right.
Hey,
Kick me
hey,
out,
Hey,
yeah.
hey, tighten up the screws.
Yeah. Hey,
Right?
hey,
Tighten
I'm
up the
sorry, dude.
screws.
I'm dialing it down. I'm gonna dial it back.
Vegemite and
Hey.
butter is
Oi,
good. I don't understand.
oil the hinges,
Hey,
right? All right.
little
Little
bit.
WD-40.
Yeah,
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 dude.
yeah.
Yeah.
Flip the old head
Yeah,
back.
Brush your
Yeah,
teeth, dude.
All
Wake
right.
up.
Flish.
You're
What's
gonna
it?
tell us
Swish
what
and
your
flick.
beer is,
Wake
and
up.
then we're gonna go into the fights.
Oh
from
yeah.
last
So
weekend.
my first beer, unfortunately, I was 5 years old. I had my neighbor's 18th birthday. His name was James, and our neighbor, his name was Mike. And he has a big property on a right sort of like across from ours. There's like a big patch of just grass, I guess, and land, and he was way out the back. Now, so obviously someone's built on it, but my dad gave me a light beer to sip on for the whole day when I was 5.
What was
And
the light? Tui's Cascade?
I think it was a
Cascade,
Cascade. I'm pretty sure it was my first ever beer.
Cascade's the good
And so he
light
just
beer,
get, and
though,
like
of all
I'm
of them.
talking like I'm a 5-year-old. I'm holding this beer. It's like a fucking full water bottle for me, and I'm just walking around this party just
You got it two-handed as
Munging
well.
away on this
beer,
dude. Yeah, it was rough. The first time though, I actually got drunk. I was also around about the same age, about 5 or 6, and this was by accident. I didn't know what I was doing. My mum took me to a Tupperware party,
Oh, dude,
right, or one of those
goes
things.
off, man. Goes off.
And what she did was, like, I was the only kid at this party. And like all of her there with her friends and blah, blah. I'm just the little boy that's running around. Go play out in the yard. So they had a tree house in this place. And so what I was supposed to do was just go and hang out in the yard and play in this tree house. They all go into the other room. And where I could run from the tree house onto the veranda into the kitchen was everyone had left the kitchen and they were in the other room. And my mum left a full glass of wine and a packet of Maltesers on the bench, right? Where she was sitting.
It's rough.
Your boy goes from the treehouse, climbs down, and army crawls across the yard. Dun, 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 dun. Fucking Mission Impossible.
Fucking
Sprints into the house, runs up, climbs up on the stool, takes a sip of this wine. I'm to the point where I'm like, I'm
Yeah.
small. I remember picking it up,
First communion.
drinking this wine, taking a few Maltesers, and then sprinting back, thinking I was going to get caught, to this treehouse. And I did that all day.
Fucking
All day
stumbling
until
back.
that whole glass, and we're talking one of those big fuck off glasses too, was done of red wine. I didn't know what I was drinking. I didn't know it was alcohol. I thought it was just some nice, grape
wine
sort of
fucked me up
dark
when I was a
purpley
kid.
drink. I'm like, oh, this is nice.
Dude, wine fucked you up more
Dude,
than when you were a kid.
I
I
had
got
to
some
be-
story.
I had to be carried out of this house. I could not walk.
Do you remember it?
I
Like,
just
well?
remember my mum basically carrying me out of the house and putting me
Dude.
in the car. I was crook as a dog.
Dude, worst Tupperware party ever.
Worst type
Oh.
of weapon.
All right, you little dirty chimpanzee. We're going to talk about some fights now. But first, we're going to do the trivia that you just flicked away.
Find it.
What is the common emergency phone number in Europe?
Ooh, Europe, huh?
Is it 411?
No.
The 411
Give
is
me the
the
411.
biz.
I swear.
Has a 1 in it.
Don't they use
In fact,
it
I'll just
Little
double
Rascals?
down. It has 2 1s in
What's
it out
the
of the 3
number for
numbers.
911?
111.
No.
101?
No. It's 112.
Okay, that's a kind of
What's this one?
randomish.
Help.
number there? Okay. All right.
I can't reach it.
Are we talking about some fights?
Can't reach it.
All right, what's the triv for
We're
this
doing
one?
some trip. All right.
Quick.
I said that smooth.
We're gonna do this,
intro
and then we're gonna do the
That was
trips.
great.
Alrighty. Trivia question, what is it, 3? Martin Sheen plays a US president in what TV show?
MASH.
Martin Sheen, dude, was this
Big
long?
Daddy Sheen, dude.
I was gonna say.
Why am I
that's the-
thinking
that's the dad? yeah?
House of Cards?
Oops.
No, like,
I've never
be.
seen it.
Well and truly dead.
No.
Yeah.
I was gonna say that's a pretty.
Is
Is
new
Martin
show.
Sheen dead?
I think he's dead.
No, I saw that.
Yeah, I thought he
Martin
was still
Sheen
kicking.
died.
Oh, as in Martin Sheen.
Martin
Senior.
Sheen died.
Senior.
TV show?
Senior?
Isn't there a senior and a junior?
What's
No,
the
Martin
Charlie
Junior
Sheen
is
dad.
Charlie
Yeah.
Sheen.
Yeah, Charlie Sheen
No,
is
there's
junior.
a brother,
Martin
though.
Sheen is that's
Emilio
Pablo
Estes
Escobar,
is the
whatever his
brother.
name is.
Oh,
Emilio Esteve.
Escobar or whatever. Yeah, the show was West
well,
Wing.
okay, mine's MASH. Okay,
The
What do we
show
got
was
here?
The West Wing,
Oh.
right?
Yeah, I'm not
That
going
was-
to get that.
For all you
Didn't I say
knuckleheads
that?
out there.
I'm just gonna put my audio in. there.
Anyway,
I said
fuck
West
that
Wing.
off. All right, let's talk about fights. So this
Wing.
weekend's card that
UFC.
has passed,
255.
nothing has really surprised us. The two main events, obviously, like the Bullet and Valentina Shevchenko just blasted Jennifer Maia. She did face some adversity in the second round. Like she got held down and
You know what the weird narrative of this fight is the commentary. The bias of the commentary. Like the whole second round, the fact that Maia was actually able to get top control on Valentina and hold her down.
if
Their
you call it top
commentary-
control even though. Like,
She held her down and was able to not really do work, but she was
it's like
in
for
top
4.5
control.
minutes, let's
But
be
like,
honest.
dude, they were talking about it like it was the second coming of Christ. Like it was like, holy fuck, we
'Cause
can't
it's-
believe that Jennifer Maia is holding Valentina Shevchenko down. Dude, Valentina was defending perfectly off of her back. Like I don't think she really took any real damage off of her back or
Well,
anything.
I'm just speaking because of what I thought was going to happen. We all thought Shev was going to dominate and not going to lose like a
She
round
won
at all. I
Every
thought,
other round.
yeah,
right?
I know, but like we thought that Shev was just going to put on a striking clinic. Like she was going to bring out the spinning back shit that everybody likes. She was going to like the Muay Thai was going to be on point. And
She's
it
a
just
counter.
wasn't-
She's
it
a
wasn't
ca-
like that. The first round, Shev opted for the takedown and held Maia down for a while, and then the second round, Maia did the same, and then the third round, she started to.
She
pick
just
it up
took
a little
over.
bit.
But Shevchenko, as brilliant as she is, we have to say probably pound for pound top 3 women
Top 2.
fighters. Top 2. It's her and Nunes, right?
Yeah.
I mean, you got Cyborgs in the conversation as well.
Yeah.
She'd have to be. It's those 3, and then maybe Weili Zhang is in there too. She's a counter striker. She
Yes.
does not usually lead the dance. She waits for you to come to her, and then she just kind of lights you up. She's
But
Yeah.
that fight, we thought that was going to end in a TKO. I thought that Shev was going to get it done maybe second, maybe third round at most TKO.
well,
Went
Jennifer
the
Maia's
distance.
tough.
They went the distance.
We can't just highlight Chev. Like Jennifer Maia's tough as shit.
Yeah.
So I was very impressed with Jennifer Maia's performance to be able to actually win a round over the Chev and sort of, stay in there. But it was so clear across the board that Shevchenko is just such a superior fighter, athlete, way faster, more powerful, more technical, better
And
kicks,
that's
better
the thing-
punches,
That's the thing
everything.
with this whole like Nunes and Shevchenko, like the two fights, Nunes won both, but they were so fucking close. Arguably, you could have given it to Shevchenko. And the thing is, like, Nunes is just bigger. Like, I reckon Shev has,
Pound for skill.
dude, Shev is like first team all skill. And then like Nunes is just a powerhouse that just has been given,
Nunes is
given those
exceptionally
nuclear
skilled too.
bombs.
That's true, but Nunes is an exceptional athlete too, like across the board. She's very, very
She's got a
strong
good ground
grappler.
game as well. Not
She's
just,
so good.
but like, I don't know.
But the thing is, those are the only two women who can do that to each other, right? No one can push Nunes that hard,
No.
and no one can beat Shevchenko outside of Nunes,
Or even
right?
Cyborg could push Nunes that hard.
Yeah. Another title defense for Shevchenko. It shows that she is a human being, but one of the
Barely.
the most impossible female on the planet. Like she's the human, like she's the real life Black Widow. That is my read. I've said that for years. Only not too long ago did someone actually make a picture of that and actually kind of put the 2 and 2 together. She might as well be James Bond. Like she is amazing. Another title defense. I think Jessica Andrade is the next fighter in line.
Cool
Yeah,
fight.
it's a good fight. I think Andrade can test her in the physicality. I mean, if if Maia can get her down and maintain top control, I mean, Jessica Andrade should be able to do that too. But also Jessica Andrade kind of just charges forward recklessly, which plays right into Shevchenko's counter-striking game. The kind of kick that she landed on Jessica I should probably land. I mean, Joanna was landing that exact kick on Jessica Andrade at will. Wait until Shevchenko lands it. Like it's like a shotgun. Like it's a one and done. I want to see her get tested. So I do want to see the Andrade fight.
I'm saying, if
I
you
like
want to see her
Lauren Murphy as
tested,
well,
let's make the Nunes. I know it's the only 2-0 fight that you could make again. Like Nunes has beat Shevchenko 2-0. You'd make the argument that Shev just has to clear out the division a little bit more before she's, that fight is warranted. But like that fight
I can think of a couple, maybe one or two more.
What 2-0 fights that should happen again? Maybe the Volkanovski and Holloway.
Yes,
again,
that's a good one. That's not what I was thinking. I was thinking of Blades and Ngannou, maybe.
I mean,
it's probably going to happen.
You're hoping that Blades
is
gets
going to
the
beat
double
everyone
leg
else,
and actually like.
But Blades is going to beat everyone else in the division, though.
Yeah, maybe. Like we brought this
At
up.
heavyweight,
like, do you think he beats Stipe, and you said that Stipe is...
I think Stipe... No, but I think Blades will just kind of clear everyone else out outside of Ngannou and Stipe.
He's going to clear out Lewis.
Anyway, so Shevchenko, good win.
This weekend.
Excellent win, actually. Yeah. Did she face some adversity? Yes. And were people surprised about it? Yes. Did she win 4 out of the 5 rounds?
Yes.
Yes. Jessica Andrade is the next fight. You could make an argument for Lauren Murphy. I would make an argument for Lauren Murphy. I think she kind of deserves it too.
Streak, dude.
But I mean,
give it to her.
I think Dana has plans. And then you got your main event too. I mean,
holy shit!
What an excellent showcase for the flyweights. The UFC's flyweight division is so underrated.
Let me take you back 2 years. Nobody gave a Frenchman's flying fuck about flyweight, and now it's it's a big
deal.
deal.
No one does. It's rough that no one cares because their champion at the moment, Davison Figueiredo.
I disagree. I think people are going to start caring about this.
I think they're going to start paying attention.
It's just
to this guy.
It needs some depth. Like the Cody Garbrandt thing. If that had happened, he would have got one pulled by Figueiredo. But like that adds some name value to the division, which is kind of needed because the champion is so good. He's so scary. Holy shit!
Terrifying. He cuts from 165 pounds to 125. That's more than
see it,
that's
dude.
like a quarter of his body weight to make weight.
Yeah.
You can't.
It's like a fucking whirling dervish, dude. This guy is unbelievable. The way he finished Alex Perez was.
Well, dude, it was competitive to start. They started off just like throwing kicks at each, like Alex Perez was starting to throw them kicks. They were starting to land bombs on each other.
But like Figaredo was loving it. Like you could see the concentration in his eyes. He was ready for it all. In no way did I think that was competitive.
Well, I think that Perez, what did he get? He got to his back, and then I think he tried to take him down.
Yes.
And then Figaredo just like, he got it to the back, he pushes him to the cage, and Figaredo drops down and goes for the fucking...
Drops is
down
not
and
the
goes
right way to describe that. Dude, he's got him against the cage, and then he somehow does this like...
switch transition
dude,
down.
he like goes around his body
down.
like a fucking boa constrictor, and then like tries to take his leg.
Takes the leg.
Goes for the leg lock. That fails.
Perez gets to his back, and then transitions to full mount, and then like Figueiredo just locks him up in some guillotine and just
hopefully we can have that
off.
transition from upright to a leg lock in the podcast when it gets published.
Definitely
freak, dude.
Hopefully it's down in the corner,
and what's
like next
so
to my
cool
leg or
as well,
something, maybe.
the coolest part about this too is that Brandon Moreno gets the win as well, which he arguably should have been in the main event.
Definitely should,
right?
Let's be honest.
Against Figueiredo in this fight, but he wins as well in the first round. They both get first round finishes, and Dana White turns them around for the next pay-per-view. And they're headlining the next. They're headlining the next pay-per-view. The two guys who got the win are now headlining again. One pay-per-view, like 3 weeks time.
Back-to-back PPVs, dude. Come on.
That's insane. Like if you want to try and get this guy over, like if you're trying to get flyweight over, this is the way to do it. You keep your champion active. He is fucking the only part that's missing about Davison Figueiredo, your boy Figgy, is that he can't speak English. That's it. He has a great backstory. He has every tool in the toolbox. He's an exceptional athlete. He's fucking terrifying. He's so powerful. His style is fun to watch. He's probably the most exciting fighter on the roster.
Brazilian.
Show me.
He's got that crazy look in his eye.
Show me
too.
another fighter who's more exciting. He gets submissions, he gets knockouts, he fucking comes forward. He's just a force of nature at 125. And you could look at him like you put him at 35, you put him at 45.
I look at him, I see Taz the Tasmanian Devil.
Like, would you put him
honestly.
against Pratiyan at 35 and think like that's competitive? I think that's
I think Pratiyan isn't.
That's an excellent fight. That's an excellent
he's in
fight.
trouble.
Yeah.
The guy who beat Aldo and whoever else.
The 35 champion.
Beat Uriah Faber as well.
Oh, he beat the
Beat the
Braves.
piss
Beat the
out
brakes
his
off of
mouth, dude.
almost everyone.
He made him learn.
I mean, what else can you say? I God damn it. I love that they're turning these guys around. I think that's the perfect way. You had the perfect lineup. You got Figaredo beats Perez. Credit to Perez, man. He put up a fight. It just wasn't enough.
For fuck's sake, someone in flyweight talk some shit or something. Let's make flyweight great again.
Yeah, but you've got Brandon Moreno as well. Like, potentially, if he can beat Figaredo, I don't think he does, but if he can beat him, he'd be the first fully Mexican champion, like born and bred.
What do you mean? What, Kane's not Mexican? He's born in the States?
American.
Yeah.
One of those.
Anyway,
same
dude,
as Cejudo.
flyweight just needs... Like, you look down all... Yeah, like, look at the flyweight.
He's the
like,
most exciting fighter on
first
the
of all,
roster.
you've got... At second, you've got Joey Benavidez, the person with
He's
the most
starched
title...
twice.
Dude, yeah. And, like...
And then he's got Askar.
Talk about somebody who's had a lot
Alex
of title
Perez.
shots. But the rest of the list...
Pantoja, he's already beaten. Brandon Royval just lost to your boy. Why is Moreno there? Yeah, I was gonna say Royval. I mean, I can't,
Anyway, it's a
sucks-
boring
it sucks
list.
what
It's a
happens to
boring
Royval
list.
too, right?
There's just no standout
that-
personalities in that list to make it juicy.
Doesn't matter. That's the point. Like, sometimes fighters do not need to beat other names to get over. Sometimes fighters become who they are by beating everybody.
But it hasn't worked. Nobody's become who they are, and it's been a while. Like, think
Max Holloway.
He's not a flyweight.
I'm just saying that's not just because it's flyweight. Demetrius Johnson became Demetrius Johnson not because he was beating other big names. He beat everyone.
But nobody knew who he was. He had one of the best resumes and records ever, and he was one of the best fighters the UFC has ever had.
Maybe
But
the best.
Yeah, but nobody recognized him ever. He's just
Yeah,
not known. People know Conor McGregor, and it's because he talks a lot of shit.
It's
but
just the stigma around the division. It's the small guys are not exciting stigma, and it's bullshit. You have, as I said, for anyone who wants to argue that the small guys aren't exciting, watch any. Find a Davison Figueiredo fight. Find one.
Mm.
It's insane. The guy is insane. I can't wait to see him fight again in, 2.5 weeks now.
dude, December's
Get
looking...
another title defense.
December's
And that
looking real
but that also
good,
kind of
dude.
lines up his clout if he does fight Cody. Like, they'll probably just do the Cody fight after this. But, like, meanwhile, he was meant to fight Cody Garbrandt. Cody Garbrandt gets injured or whatever it is. He's like, I'll be ready by March. He gets 2 title defenses in before then?
Mm.
Are you serious? And then he gets to
Before
go
he
home.
smashes Cody too. I'm
think
just going to say that
Destroys Cody Garbrandt.
Dude, Cody Garbrandt,
He's in trouble.
watch out.
Oh.
And, like, look, the UFC want nothing more for Cody to hold a championship.
Cody,
it's just,
if
he
you,
gets that
if,
kind
if
of
you
treatment.
like the taste of winning again after not winning for a while,
Yeah, fight anybody else.
don't fight this guy.
Yeah, literally, fight anyone. Not Davis to Figueiredo.
Sad to hear my boy Mike Perry didn't do so well.
No, he did not make the weight. Surprise.
Yeah,
Absolute
surprise.
shocker.
We made a little comment about that last week.
Yeah, just total shocker.
Your boy missed a weight by 4.5 pounds, so he didn't even try.
Came in cocky, came in strutting his shit. I did like, all right, so
what can you say about this fight? I mean,
yeah,
he
so
looked
Griff
like
and I are
absolute dog
watching this
shit.
fight, right? And he comes in, and I'm just like, there is absolutely no way the universe lets Mike Perry win this fight after talking so much shit, not missing weight, and being so blatant about it on the walk-in and at the weigh-ins.
What was the song that he came out to again?
It was, I think it was Halo Beyonce, wasn't it?
Yeah, right.
All right, that's a
And he said that
that's
to
a
me.
gr-
It's like,
that's a great song.
God
It's a
will
power
not
play.
allow
Yeah,
him
it's a
to
great
win.
song. But
power
the
play.
fact is, Tim Means put on a fucking clinic on him
Yeah.
and gave him the absolute...
Gave him the
Dude,
business,
Dude, his name is Dirty Bird. We saw it all.
Yeah, dude. He gave him the dirty turd.
Gave him that fucking chicken wing a few times
Yeah.
as well.
He still have no like cornerman,
Yeah,
Yeah,
he had his pregnant
missus,
wife.
and
Or
he had
pregnant missus or wife. I don't know.
someone.
and he came out to Halo. Right.
Yeah.
So he looked like shit. He looked like shit in the Mickey Gall fight. He looked like shit in this fight. What Mike Perry is, and I've said it before and I'll say it again, there is one of these fighters in every weight class. The perfect clay, right? You have the clay of like the perfect kind of fighter mold, but it's just raw clay and you need to mold it into a nice sculpture, right? He's the clay. He's got a great chin. He's got the fighting spirit. He punches hard. He's not fast, but he's reasonably athletic. He can grapple enough so
he's
that
powerful, though.
He's
You
powerful.
look at
He's
him
got
like,
everything.
holy
he's got
shit,
everything.
man,
He's
this guy's got a
marketable.
great...
He's got marketable. He can talk on the mic.
Yeah.
People want to watch.
Yeah. He just lacks...
He is just not guided. You need someone to take that clay and fucking mold it. That's what you need.
He doesn't respect authority, and he just doesn't... He doesn't want a boss, and it's like there's a few camps out there that would be good for him if he could just... You know who I think would be good for him if he just learn how to respect authority is Mark Henry.
Yeah, I don't even think his intelligence could line up with Mark Henry's.
But could you imagine
Mark Henry's like
if he respected like Mark Henry's genius and he started like listening to the corner, giving him like code names for the combinations and stuff he's got to throw? I think he would do very well.
I would like to see someone put him in line. I want to see someone like Darren Till's coach. I can't think of his name. Colin, Coach Colin, who is literally like a dictator in the gym. Like someone who will put him in line, strip him down to his basics, and keep, as he said, keep him from partying. Stop him from fucking around and
partying. It's just like he's eating fucking cornetos and shit. Like,
he just doesn't care. As I said, you have the perfect clay, and he just doesn't care. He's eating burgers. He's going out to clubs and punching old people. He's 2% African.
Dropping the N-word like every
left, right, and
second chance
center.
he gets.
Fake gangster. He's a piece of shit of a person, but we can fix this, right? He's crying out for help, right? In the UFC, it sucks. He's what is he? 14-7. So it's rough. It's not a great record.
But here's the thing. He's had some competitive fights, and he actually does look good sometimes.
My personal opinion, his best performance in the UFC
Vicente Luque
was against Vicente Luque. I don't know what happened there. I don't know who was training him. I don't know what camp he was at, what training schedule he's under. But in that fight, you're talking about Vicente Luque too, someone who fucking brings it every single time. He's one of the best welterweights outside of the top 10. And Vicente got the win. I believe Mike Perry won the fight, and that's the best I've ever seen him look. His leg kicks. He was fast. He was throwing combinations. He fucking was whipping that leg kick like insanely fast. He actually showed fight IQ.
And his nose.
And he had his nose put onto the other side of his face, and he still fought through it.
He had a back nose.
Yeah, his nose was here. Right?
Loves a bit of slivering.
That was the best version of Mike Perry, and ever since then, he's never shown up again. It's unfortunate, as I said, because the potential is there. Fuck me, dude. It actually upsets me that no one can put him in line because he actually has potential to be a top 10, like a top 10 caliber fighter. He has the potential. We've seen it. We've seen glimpses of it here and there where he can actually be something. And he, as you said, he doesn't take well to authority. He does his own training camps. He lets his missus hold pads for him. She's all of fucking 4 foot nothing. She's tiny. And you can see he's throwing like literal hand punches in that last fight. Like hand punches, like shit like this. Like you're watching it like, what is that?
There, dude.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? A little bit stiff, right? Stiff look.
He just sounds stubborn.
He's stubborn. No, but he's just like that, man.
He's a stickler, dude. We know this.
It sucks. I don't know what to say. Like, I don't want to see him get released. Maybe it'll teach him a lesson, but like you're taking...
Dude, Dana's never going to release that, man.
Yeah, but how many losses can you get?
It doesn't matter, dude.
Like
you said this yourself the other day. He is a fighter that brings exciting fights. And though he says some of the stupidest shit I've ever heard in my life, people like that, and he brings in the eyes. Platinum Mike Perry, people watch. Anyway, let's stop wasting that fucking...
No, give me, like Mike Perry, as I said, like someone who is like that perfect mold, like that perfect, like sort of clay, like that has all the intangibles to be a great fighter. They just can't live up to that potential for whatever reason. They haven't got the right coaching.
Do you know who would have been a perfect example of that up until recently?
Like the divisions of people who are like that, in your opinion, like people who just have all of the ingredients to be great. They just can't put it together for whatever reason.
Do you know who like is the perfect example of that, even though it has had the resurgence, but could still be classified as that? I think Jorge Masvidal, dude. I think Jorge Masvidal.
Yes. No, that's different though, because that's different because Jorge doesn't slack off the same way. Like he's not that guy. He's not. But he's not coached well. If that makes sense. Like you see that Perry, it's different. Jorge's different because Jorge has always. The fucking guy has an excellent resume. He has over 35 mixed martial arts wins.
Decision losses, obviously.
he is one of those guys that you can see over his career. When you hear people commentate, they say this guy has everything. He's so technical. He has all of the pieces of the puzzle. And you see that in the past, what kept Jorge from wins or like showing the kind of dominance that he has now is that he would get, it looked like he got bored in his fights and that he would start to coast and he just didn't look like he wanted to, he didn't have that killer instinct like he does now. And I think Jorge is the perfect combination, as you said, because he has all of the fight experience. He has all of the technical skill. He has been finished like once or like very, very rarely in all of his fights. I think he's got like one submission loss, but he always kind of loses decisions. He's got an excellent chin. He's fast. He's powerful. He's well coached. He can grapple his ass off. He's perfect almost across the board. What needed to happen was the mentality.
Who also on social media has been known to post pictures of him eating pizza at the wrong time.
But Jorge, well, I think why he had such a tremendous 2019
Dude, it was the knee knockout, man. Come on, it was the flying knee that did it for him.
Before that, he knocked out Till before that, which was huge in Liverpool or in London or whatever. It was the killer instinct. What he did was when he lost the next split decision to Wonderboy, UFC 217, he went and took a holiday. He went and
no.
He went on to one of those.
He went on a game show where he had to live without his phone.
Yeah,
for
so it was like a
Survivor
show.
And the whole time he was like, "Dude, this is the fucking worst."
No, but he separated. What he did
and
was
then
he separated himself from the world. He went and just took himself out of his element. He went and lived in the, as you said, in the wild,
Like a cleanse.
like a cleanse. He said like a full bodily cleanse, and he had to work out. Why is it that I have all of the intangibles? I have everything. I have the experience. I have all the skills. I have all the tools. He's tough as shit. He's got everything that you need.
He does. He has the whole.
He has the whole package, and guess what? He's not taken a shit. He's had a lot of fights and not taken a lot of damage too. That's perfect.
No.
And he's losing all these split decisions. He's got a split decision loss to Ally Quinter, Benson Henderson, Damian Maia, Lorenz Larkin. Like, you just go down the list of all the split decisions that could have gone his way had he not sort of had that, just that inkling in him to really go hard and try and go for it. I do think the Wonderboy loss was legit. I thought that was a decision that was unanimous. I thought Wonderboy beat him. Yeah. But all the ones I just listed could have gone his way. And he's fighting killers. All killers. And as you said, he has that cleanse.
I feel like if he just knuckles down just that little bit more, it could... he didn't get the full camp against against Usman.
Still showed spectacular
very
takedown defense.
Promise.
Great offense.
He's on the verge of
gassed out, but like
greatness.
Of course he's going
if he really just,
he could be excellent.
Yeah, just don't eat fucking pizza and like.
No, he had a bite of it. I heard that he said in an interview that they had that pizza. He only took one bite.
Do you believe that?
I believe it. He made weight. He had to cut 20 pounds and he made weight, so he didn't have that whole piece.
We'll see. I think he.
All right. I will go back to this card.
If we're gonna fuck this card, let's talk about the card.
The prelims, though, right? The prelims, in my opinion, were better. Like, you had the Dalby fight with D-Rod, Daniel Rodriguez.
That was a good
someone
fight.
who was like on like a crazy fight, like a win streak. That was a great fight at welterweight. I thought Dalby deserved the win.
Yeah.
Alan Jouban went to fucking war as well.
That was a crazy fight.
I think Jouban should be kind of treated the same way because he is 40. He doesn't look 40.
He's 40 gone on 25.
What's fucking so weird about Jouban is that he takes a beating in that fight too. He gets swollen up. He looks like he's been stung by bees. How is it that motherfucker is 40 years old and he looks younger when he gets beaten up? How the fuck is that possible? How do you look like how do you go into a fight 40 years old, you look all of 26, and then when he gets beaten up and his face is all swollen up, he looks 18. What?
Tell you what, he goes home, he juices some carrots, cucumbers, celery, and apples together.
One of the most handsome men in the UFC.
100%. He's a
savage too. I'll tell you a little fight I've been thinking about for Alan Jouban. I think he deserves it. Anthony Pettis. Don't mind it. Just saying. Pettis takes kind of fights. He takes named fights. He takes whatever fights sort of offered.
Alan Jouban's a name, but he's not an A+ name or an A name.
I mean,
no, he's like a B- name.
But Pettis just lost to a B-
Yeah,
guy.
but it's
Diego,
Pettis.
what was his name?
Did you see him when he
Diego
knocked
Fer-
out that guy Superman punch off the cage?
He's
Wonder
done.
Boy?
Dude, Pettis has done
He's done the kick-
spectacular things.
dude,
But Pettis is in no position
Kick
to.
off- he loves off the cage techniques.
Would
so-
you like the fight?
Yeah, I mean, I would. I don't know.
I think Joban deserves those kind of like veteran big name fights. I thought he had an excellent fight. Kyle Daukaus as well, coming off a contender. He's got
What
his
weight
first
is
win.
Pettis at right now? Is welterweight or lightweight?
I think he's fighting at moneyweight, man. Like he's just at 170, 155, whatever the biggest fight is that presents itself, I think he takes. He's at that kind of stage now where there's a bunch of fighters, like Nate Diaz is at that stage too. Like there's some fighters that are just kind of prize fighters.
Yeah.
Their ranking doesn't matter. They're not contending for a title anytime soon.
But why don't you give Pettis and fucking Lawler the fight? That's a cool fight. Two names
I think
on their way out, not ranked, come from championships.
You could, but the sense that would like
I think that'd be cool.
to make
fights.
sense. No, it's a cool fight, of course, but I think what would make sense is the fact that Mike Perry was matched up with Robbie Lawler, and everyone thought that was a good fight.
Yeah. It was a cool
Robbie
fight.
Lawler fell out. Tim Means stepped in. Tim Means won. Why not just do Tim Means versus Robbie Lawler? I think Tim Means is a veteran. He's fought everybody.
I don't think he can beat Tim Means.
Who cares?
If Tim Means comes in looking like he did against
Yeah.
Mike Perry,
So that's
Robbie
a good.
Lawler's going to get overwhelmed.
That's a good. Who cares? That's
I
a
care.
good. That's a
I
good
like
push
Robbie
for Tim.
Lawler. I want to see him. I want to see him have some
So,
good, easy fights for him
Yeah,
to. Like,
so
it
Tim
could
Means
go
is a
either way.
stylistically favorable fight, though. Who else can you give Robbie? Like, what are you going to give him? Diego Sanchez?
Pettis.
I mean, Pettis could also win that too.
They could both win. That's the beauty of it.
Yeah, but so is Tim Means and Robbie Lawler.
No,
The same
I think
thing.
Tim Means smokes Robbie Lawler.
You reckon?
Yeah.
I
He
don't
comes
reckon.
in looking as technical as he did against Mike Perry.
Look,
Yeah,
No, I
Robbie's
think
in
that's
for a
the
bad time.
sense that it would make. Tim Means is a long-time UFC fighter veteran.
Yeah.
So is Robbie, but Tim Means hasn't got the name and the recognition of a Robbie
Tim
Lawler.
Means made
But
his
he
debut in
deserves
like
it though.
2012 or 2000. Well, he's an 8-year veteran. Dude,
Come on, dude.
Robbie,
you
dude.
know he
He's like an
No,
all-time
but he deserves
veteran.
that though, right?
Tim Means
deserves a big
Let
fight.
him get his name off somebody else who's, you know.
Well, the only other fight I see for Tim Means in his future is the winner of Carlos Condit versus Matt Brown.
Stop. Like, let's not think of like unranked or like lower echelon opponents. Tim
But
Means had
Tim
a
Means
really
shouldn't be fighting a
impressive win.
fucking ranked person either.
Yeah, he should,
Why?
because he won spectacularly.
Tim Means just got knocked out in his last fight, and he got knocked out in his fight before that. Like, he's not going to be contending for any kind of fight. He's in that position, the same way that Pettis is, the same way that Robbie Lawler is, the same way that Alan Joban is. Just give them fun fights. You don't need to give them contender fights, because you know what happens when you give them contender fights? They get fucked up. And Tim Means isn't a contender. He was a contender fucking, what, 6-7 years ago at lightweight?
a while
and
ago.
He's not been really a contender. He's just a fun fighter. He's the dirty bird. We love him. He's technical. He brings it.
He's
But
just still got
when you
it.
put
Though.
him
That's
against,
the difference.
He's got it,
He's
but
still
like
got
when
it.
you put him in there against a young,
It's like
hungry,
he's
up and
tightened
coming
up
guy.
recently too. If anything, like you see someone who's just he talked about when Perry was sending him pictures of him eating pizza and shit, and he's like, "You're not taking me serious." And dude, he came out the other end of that.
But he also got rocked
Really,
hard a
really
few
good.
times as well against Perry's very
sort of.
like terrible punches. He got backed up. He got clunked a few times. I say, as I said, the fight to make is Robbie Lawler, Tim Means, or Tim Means versus the winner of Matt Brown and Carlos Condit. We'll preview that fight once it gets around.
I do like
to
the
it.
Brown and Condit fight a lot. Though.
I think
that's
Condit
a really
wins
fucking
that.
Cool fight.
I don't think Condit's chin is one of the most legendary chins in the sport's history.
Mm.
Matt Brown's chin is biscuits.
Mm.
And I think that even though the fight could be competitive and these guys are just going to go in and sling leather, I just don't think Matt Brown can take the onslaught. And we just saw in Carlos Condit's last fight, man, he clunked fucking, what's his name? Court McGee, and broke his nose and dropped him right on the buzzer at the second, or was it first or
the
second
name
round?
that always makes me chuckle.
Court McGee.
Court McGee,
Dude, now, talking of BMFs, right? Court McGee has his nose broken on the buzzer, hops up, goes to his corner, and punches his fucking nose back into place, and then keeps fighting. Find me someone,
Dial
right?
that back
Find someone, right? Break their nose, right? Has anyone actually had their fucking nose
Break
broken
their
before?
nose.
Break their nose and say, hey, man, instead of going to the hospital and having someone like correct it, you just fucking punch it back into place, fix it up, and then just keep fighting. Someone like Carlos Condit. Are you fucking serious, dude?
Easy fix.
That's
The guy's
impossible.
the guy's a man's man.
The guy's a fucking freak.
Could make his own clinic. You know what I mean?
That's disgusting.
Free
Also,
consultations.
people don't understand what it takes to be a fighter. The mentality, the grind. Like people think, like the casuals. When you talk about casuals,
enjoy
like,
it. And you got to look forward to
No, but-
fight day.
people just don't understand the level that these professionals are at. What you're watching on screen, you're thinking, that Brandon Moreno, that Figaredo, he's 5'5", he's tiny, I could crush him. No. These boys are so high level, so well trained, and so explosive, so well timed. Any normal person, I'm talking any normal person, wants to step in against someone who you think is tiny, like a Brandon Moreno, a 5'4" man, and you would find out very quickly that you are nothing.
We know
he would
this.
crush you.
While you're
He would
at home
fucking-
thinking about what you want to eat for dinner or like vacuuming your house or
man's-
whatever the fuck you're doing.
that
These guys
man's
are out
punching
there
holes in
learning
bags.
jits, learning ground game, top game, all the scenarios a fight can
and
play
crushing
out.
pads.
Yeah, crushing
And their
pads.
sparring partners. That's
At all weight classes. It's why they're at the level they're at and why
Yeah.
they're fighting in the organization they're fighting for.
at the top of the weight class too, as you said. You're talking about someone like Davison Figueiredo crushing Benavidez twice.
We're talking about
Benavidez is one of the
real life
best-
assassins and warriors and
Yeah.
everything.
Davison Figueiredo is one of the best athletes across the board in the sport too. Like he is just so unbelievably athletic. He is so fucking powerful and fast and explosive and strong for that weight class. He makes great fight IQ and decisions.
Find an ounce of fat on that man.
Yeah,
I'll
just
wait.
find something on that man that you can poke and it's not solid fucking steel. Yeah, well, anyway, going back on what I was saying, Pettis and Joban, I don't know why I just thought of that fight, but I thought maybe that's kind of a fun fight. But Joban's got not many left. He's continuously fighting up and comers. Like,
They
man,
both don't have any left.
just give these older kind of veteran, the guys who've been around for a while, stop feeding them to the young contenders. Right? We don't need to see that. Let the contenders fight contenders. Let the oldies just fight oldies, man. Have some fun fights. Have some mercy.
Dinosaur
Have mercy.
exhibit.
Have some mercy, man.
No.
Have some mercy. Like Condit versus Matt Brown is perfect. It's a fight that should have been booked. I mean, it has been booked, but the first time it was booked, it was fucking 8 years ago when they were both actually in their prime, and welterweight was a completely different landscape. We're finally getting to see it when they're both, as you said, shells and dinosaurs of them, of themselves, but still a great fight. I like it. I like not seeing these veterans and the guys with the big names getting fed to these young, hungry lions who are just going to fucking crush them.
True. I like watching them fight in the early main event, maybe even the late prelim to kick off the main event. That's how it should be.
Headline the prelims, or maybe like a co-main event, co-main, whatever it is.
I can make money.
Who else have we got on there? We got.
I was about to say before we debut our new segment and wrap this shit up, let's finish the last two fights on the card.
Good night for the Shevchenko sisters, because Antonina got a pretty good win as well.
It was a
Lipsky,
good fight.
the fucking dime piece. Great fight. That's good for the Shevchenko sisters to both get a win.
It's the first time two sisters have fought on the same card, if I'm not mistaken.
And 2 wins. And also your boy, the highlight of the year, Joaquin Buckley, got the best knockout maybe of all time in his last fight. Got another.
Imad
Now,
Sangana.
obviously not as impressive this time, but he beat Jordan Wright. Also,
who's coming off contender
beast.
and has had some really cool looking
incredible.
knockouts. Like he's had a few wheel kick knockouts, and they call him the Beverly Hills Ninja. And you watch his
for a
fights.
reason, man. He's a freak. He's got great kicks,
dude.
Joaquin Buckley, you saw, came out and came right at him like a wild man, and it wasn't working. He really actually took a few minutes of just exploding into the pocket and just coming after him to realize, like, hey, that kind of bullshit just doesn't always work.
And if
I don't
you're
know
a
why
tits guy, you're gonna like Joaquin Buckley. This guy has all of the tits.
2 fucking Christmas hams just crowded together at the front, dude. It's one of the best physiques.
He looks like he has an ass on his chest.
Dude,
it's ridiculous.
He works at Walgreens and he's still working there. Yeah. That's where we're at with the UFC right now. You've got the guy who has the highlight knockout of the year.
But that's the thing with the
Is
UFC.
still working his fucking full-time day job at Walgreens, dude.
Yeah, that's
what even is fighter pay?
That's the thing. Like that, it's not about like they don't have a good pay at the UFC, sure, but they have the institute, and they have the what's it called? They have like all of their nutrition provided. like the UFC provides a lot for them, if not their pay.
It's a company. It's
Oh,
not
yeah,
like
that's if they
boxing.
move into the apex, though.
Yeah.
Good KO. Wasn't as spectacular as the last one, but he still beat, as he said, a
What
very
is, dude. There's like
maybe
2
nothing.
knockouts that compete with that.
yeah. What do you reckon they are?
We've
I've got Masvidal last one.
Masvidal knee, and you know what? I'm just gonna chuck it in there. All right. So there's actually a couple. I'm gonna give the Raymond Daniels
In the UFC. Come on, keep it in the UFC.
In the UFC. Okay. All right. We'll go the Matt Brown elbow. I love that
Yes.
elbow. I
Against
fucking
Diego Sanchez.
dude, that elbow, come on.
Terrifying.
Dude.
Terrifying.
And then the other one is
my favorite part about that elbow is when he drops it on him, he fucking walks off and just points like he's like,
Yeah.
see that shit?
All right. Wait,
That's
Matt
that
Brown
shit.
elbow, and then there's 2 more. You've got the Barbosa wheel kick.
Terry Adam.
Yeah.
Yep.
And then you've got
I feel like there's a few more.
and I'll give the
about the
silver front kick.
I want
on Vitor Belfort.
The best knockout I've ever seen is Yair versus Korean Zombie.
Oh, dude,
That's
the
the best
second,
knockout.
That's the latest knockout in history,
Actually,
right?
it's
That was
not,
on the
though.
last second.
I saw a video today. MMA on Point, I think, did it. They said that the latest knockout actually comes at the end of the Merab Dvalishvili versus Ricky Simone fight, because Ricky had him in a guillotine on the last second of the fight, but he didn't tap, but he was basically going out. So the fight ended, and then Merab gets up and starts celebrating like, hey, I've won the fight. I just almost got guillotined, but I won basically the whole fight. And then apparently either the ref or the doctor called it a TKO loss or like a submission loss, even though he didn't get submitted. So technically the latest finish is actually 15 minutes exactly on the dot, like not 14 minutes 59.
no.
It's 15 minutes
Beat
because
that.
it's some weird technical fault
Well,
that
then he could
happened.
never beat that, but come on, dude.
You'll never be able to
Yair
beat
on
that
the
because
last
it's
second
actually
of
after the
fucking
fight finished.
Dude, the elbow on Zombie.
Yeah,
dude,
Yair
ridiculous.
Yair
That deserves to be up
Rodriguez's
there.
elbow on Zombie is the best knockout in my opinion I've ever seen. When I watched that, I
right,
leapt
all right.
across the lounge room.
One more, and it's a personal favorite of you and I's, is when Hendo delivered the fucking
come
nuclear
on, dude.
bomb.
The
And then,
H bomb
dude,
on fucking-
Dude, not only does he
on
deliver
Bisping?
the fucking biggest
When he-
bomb ever, but after he is clear, Bisping's clearly
He
out
took his
cold.
head off. His head is in the fucking
he catches
nosebleeds.
flight and delivers the
Yeah,
fucking
yeah.
lunchbox on top of him afterwards as well.
He actually jumps and actually gets like vertical in
He
the
gets
air and like
he's off the
planks
ground.
Like a
down.
gazelle. Yeah.
They
Hold
did
it.
not like
Amazing.
each other. Anyway.
I want to point out another one as well. Gabriel Gonzaga knocking out Crow Cop with the fucking same head kick that he kills everyone with. That's a great knockout too.
Yeah, that's in there. Yeah,
Ngannou versus Overeem.
Thank you.
That must
Oh,
be
yeah,
the
dude, yeah.
single
but
hardest.
he's not out though.
Dude.
That's the thing.
Shut
like,
the fuck up. Yes, he is.
dude. He
Overeem did not wake up for fucking 6 weeks after that.
He's still out from that.
He's not even recovered from that. He's
I don't
still,
know. It's. I mean, like.
His head's still out in
all right,
orbit.
well, all right, what about recently with fucking Chaos Williams? Fucking
was a
knocking
great
out.
knockout. Just with the straight, dude. The straight
and he's out for like
against
literally.
Abdul Razak Al Hassan.
Yeah, I can't say that name, but he's literally. I don't know. Have they checked
Dude,
on him? Is he okay?
Now, something we're going to have to preview soon on one of the cards coming up is Chaos Williams' next fight.
Yeah,
all right, so sum up the card. Joaquin Buckley got the win. Man, he's a good prospect at middleweight. The fight to make, and I'm saying this right now, they fucked up. They should have made it this time. Well, I know he's been calling out James Krause. Don't care to see that fight. I think James Krause deserves better. Personally, I think Krause is on like should be on a 7-fight win streak had he not lost to Trevin Giles in the fight before his last, that he took on short notice at middleweight, and he gets this Trevin Giles fight, and the ref just has the judge has no idea what he's scoring. He lost a bullshit split decision. The guy should be on a 7-fight win streak. Dude, the James Krause actually deserves either a ranked opponent at 170, not at fucking 185, or a big named opponent. Maybe a Tim Means Dirty Bird, or like just a big name, a Pettis, for example. Like, Krause is one of those guys who's coaching and happens to actually fucking know how to fight his ass off. And for Buckley, I know he's calling him out. Don't want to see it. I do want to see the who did we say last week? The big black fellow that knocked out the Aussie Whitaker's sparring partner. I keep forgetting his name. He's
Phil Horse.
Phil Horse. I keep thinking his name is just like some like John Smith,
Yeah, me
some
too.
not black name. Phil Horse versus Joaquin Buckley. That's the fight.
It's a cool fight.
That's an epic fight. That I don't want to see anything else. Don't give me anything else except for Phil Horse versus Joaquin Buckley. Matchmakers, you heard that here. All right, next week's card. Let's go. Lay us up.
Next week. All right. So if we're going to talk about next week's card, I think the way to do it is to debut
the new segment.
A segment. And if you don't know what that is, which you probably shouldn't, we're going to talk about 2 good fights and 1 shit fight from the upcoming card.
Yeah.
But we're going to do it in a way like this: 2 good fights, 2 in the pink,
And
1
shitty
shit fight.
One in the
And
stink.
that is the Stinky Pete of the fights.
2 in the pink, 1 in the stink. New segment.
Let's start with
We're
the
gonna
2.
lay
Let's
you
start
up
with the 2 good
pink,
fights.
The 2 fights you want to watch.
First, unsuspecting one. We're going to give it to a fan favorite here at the podcast, and that is Rachel Ostovich.
Ooh. That's the one we're going with?
That's the one we're
Rachel
going with.
Ostovich?
She's going to be fighting Gina
Meneza,
Meneza?
right? Doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter. We'll she's in the pink because
Yeah.
it's Rachel Ostovich. If you don't know Rachel Ostovich,
Yeah. That's the hottest woman on the roster. She's
Yeah.
hotter than all the ring card girls. She's hotter than everyone else on earth. It's
So
fine.
that's why we're going with that one. Huh?
So that's the pink,
Yeah.
right? That's obviously the
100.
pink.
That's one of the-
Foxtovich.
yeah,
Thotstovich, right?
Ostovich.
Rachel fucking sit on my face to bitch, right? Right? The hottest woman who's ever competed,
is-
maybe next to Mackenzie Dern.
Absolutely.
I don't know. She's
might be ahead of
impossibly
that.
attractive.
She's very sexy.
Is she that good at fighting? Probably not. Doesn't matter though.
I'll be
Doesn't matter. We're gonna
Yeah,
watch
that's
it.
not what it's about.
win this
That's what it's
fight.
about.
Win this fight. Finish your UFC career 5
Yeah,
and 5.
You know what? Perfectly balanced.
And then what
As
do you-
all things should be.
And then what do you
That's
do
Thanos.
after that once you finish your UFC career?
Only fans.
100%.
Am I right? Only fans.
Bright future ahead of her. Yeah.
Only fans
Either
are
way,
born.
Look at her.
Bitcoin.
Like if she
Yeah.
did
Shouldn't
only,
be fighting.
Discount code is UFC for 50% off.
she doesn't
Yeah.
need to do that bullshit. She doesn't need to advertise. She's
Definitely
got
shouldn't
it
be
all.
Fighting, but like, yeah, you girl. I understand that.
She got skills. It's just it doesn't matter.
We'll
Okay.
research after this. Yeah.
Yeah.
The second pink.
If you don't know who that is, Google Rachel Ostovich and treat yourself. All
We'll
right.
give you a little
This
preview
is
on
a
that.
shout
Little,
out.
Now
on
she's
there.
fighting Gina Mazzani. I don't know who that is, and I don't care. Right? Just watch it. Just watch it.
Our first pick.
And the other fight, I want to pick you the other pink. There's 2. I would have probably. I mean, all right. If we're
Dude,
gonna go
it's-
out, if we're gonna go out of the 2, I will personally pick Miguel Baeza, Caramel Thunder versus Takashi Sato.
and I'm gonna say Spike Carlisle.
Okay, so
the
that's
most-
3 in the pink there, right?
Yeah, I know. Wait, I just got to throw it out there. This man is the most jacked ginger man you've ever seen.
Yeah,
in
and
your
also,
life.
yeah,
That's a good fight.
Bill Algeo is a great fighter. I still think Miguel Baeza, that's the guy you want to be watching. 9-0, finished Matt Brown in his last fight, who we were just talking about, and he's fighting Takashi Sato. Takashi Sato just got a knockout over, can't think of his name, some big redhead fella. Click on Takashi Sato if you can. Just click on him, and it should bring up his. Maybe if you click on his actual face, it bring up his record. Who's the? Yeah, Jason Witt.
Doesn't he look like
he got a
Sexy
really-
Yama
How dare
Back
you?
the-
No one looks like Sexy Armor.
back in the day?
Sexy Armor is Sexy Armor for a reason. Yeah, Takashi Sato got a knockout win over Jason Witt. It was actually a really, really clean KO. I can't wait for this fight, actually. I think this is a really excellent fight. 2 prospects at welterweight. Keep an eye on it.
He does.
Those are
look
your
like
2
Sexy
pink.
Yama.
That's absolutely the 2, probably the best fights on the card, whether or not they're actually competitive or it's more just watch it because prospects or watch it because Rachel Ostovich, right? And I mean, we can both unanimously pick the stink.
The stink is the main event.
Absolutely. Fuck
Derek
this main
Lewis
event.
and Curtis
Fuck
Blades.
this main event.
I'm just gonna say this.
Finish my
My
beers.
prediction is that Curtis Blades is going to get all of the takedowns, like he always does. He's really good at it. He has, I'm pretty
Probably
sure,
the best blast double in the game.
Yeah, like he has. I think he's for heavyweights. He has most takedowns, second highest accuracy, and
Yeah.
then first for everything else. Like the guy's a powerhouse. It's just that I don't know. It's hard to love. Like the new Star Wars movies. He's hard to love.
Curtis Blades does nothing to sell himself as anything exciting, right? He always sort of says like, hey, like I'm that guy. I'm the contender. I'm beating everyone else. I take every fight that's given to me.
Who
Blah,
doesn't,
blah,
though?
blah.
Most people do that. It's nothing
But
to brag about.
No, he's just not got a fan-friendly style. He's not good on the mic. Dana fucking hates him. You know, he has 2 losses, right? Only one person in the UFC has beaten him, and that's Francis Ngannou.
Understandable.
Understandable, right? You're standing in front of the most terrifying human that's ever stepped in the cage. I don't care about this fight, man. Could Curtis Blades? I mean, could he knock Derek Lewis out? Maybe. If he wants to actually stand and trade, I don't think he does. I think he just goes straight to what he knows best. Take down, hold Derek Lewis down, tire him out, and just wrestle fuck his way to either a TKO victory or maybe submit him. And it doesn't matter, right? It doesn't matter. I mean, Derek Lewis,
though, you never know.
You never know, but also you kind of know, right?
Don't do that to me, dude.
Who cares?
It's just that, like...
Dude, Curtis Blades literally said, hey, don't tune in to my, like, the last fight against Alexander Volkov. He's like, if you are expecting a stand-up war, you're tuning into the wrong fight. I'm going to take him down and I'm going to beat him up. And everyone's like, okay, cool, because we're all tuning into heavyweight to watch that. Two big dudes.
We watch heavyweight
collide with one another.
We watch heavyweight to watch people throw hams, dude. That's what we watch heavyweight
for. Heavyweight for one dude to just blast through
we
the
don't
other
expect
and
the
just lay on
fight
top
to
of
go
them.
the distance at heavyweight.
Yeah, no one cares about that. And guess what? Unless Francis Ngannou loses the championship fight, Curtis Blades is never getting a title shot.
That's true.
If anything, I think he's better served to go over to Bellator. He's the kind of guy that Bellator invites. He's basically heavyweight Corey Anderson.
Sort of.
He kind of is. If you would at
Corey Anderson has some stand-up that he likes to...
So does Curtis Blades. He knocked out Junior. I mean, they're the kind of the same guy at the weight
Who
class.
hasn't knocked out Junior, let's be honest.
Everyone
you did that?
prior
I did
to
that last
Cain
week.
Velasquez destroying him, but before that, Junior was on a rampage. Curtis Blades is kind of the guy, as he said, he's kind of suited to Bellator. Like he'll probably never get a title shot as long as Francis is there. I don't know why it is, but he's just I don't think the UFC have any intention on him being their champion. And could he actually be the champion? Probably. He could.
Yeah,
he could
100%.
absolutely be the champion. I just don't think the UFC care for that to happen. And the problem is by the time he gets to that fight, if he ever gets to a title fight, he probably would have beaten everyone else in the division because he is that good. And that's the problem. Like he'll beat everyone else except for probably Stipe and Francis. And so I do believe that
he'd give Stipe some problems.
I don't believe
Stipe's
he would.
crafty, but he'd give Stipe a run for his money.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe. I think Stipe
new
stops
challenge.
all the takedowns, and I think he knocks him out on the feet, personally. If Stipe doesn't retire before they fight. But the problem is if Stipe retires before their fight, then you get
If you
Blades.
get a Curtis Blades
but like what happens if
fights
Francis
Stipe
gets
and goes full snooze fest, like gives him the style that everybody hates.
But what if Francis beats Stipe before that? Do you think if Curtis Blades can't lose to Francis 3 times? Like if say for instance Francis beats Stipe, then they say like, oh, Curtis Blades is the only contender left. You give him the 3rd fight and then Francis beats him again. What are you going to do? You've lost the same guy 3 times?
Well, then go to Bellator, dude.
Go to Bellator.
Mm-hmm.
Go make your money there. They'll pay you over there. Scott Coker will give you money over there.
So that's the
I think he's the Corey Anderson. As I said, he is the Corey Anderson of the heavyweight division. They don't want him as their champion. He's not marketable. He just has that style that no one gives a fuck about. He's a great fighter.
Yeah.
Right? He's excellent at what he does. No one cares.
The best at what he does.
Maybe the best. Go to Bellator, man. Go to Bellator and make money. Actually become the champion there, and maybe people will actually appreciate what you do. Over in the UFC, they don't. They want Francis as their champion. They do not want Curtis Blades as their champion.
We do.
I agree. Well, I'm fucking tired, and I want to wrap this shit up.
Yep.
So we're gonna say goodbye, but before we do, we want to say get involved and post on our channel. Comment, like, subscribe.
Ask
and
us
also
anything.
tell us what your favorite beer is, or Griff will take a shit in your letterbox.
That's right. And I'll knock on the door and tell you that I did it.